So you've got your online business up and running. Now it's time to bring in some quality traffic. And what is the best way to bring in quality traffic to your online store that actually converts into sales? For beginners, I highly recommend starting with Facebook ads since it is proven to work for many people, and for sure it will work for you if you follow the right strategy. What's up guys, my name is Omar from ROA Recipe, and in today's video we're gonna be talking all about Facebook ads, how to set up your ad account, how to create your first campaign, how to test your products with low budget, and how to scale the winners slowly and in the right way. And by the way, for those who didn't enter the giveaway yet, you still have a chance. Go watch this video and like and subscribe to the channel, and then comment ROA, and you basically enter the giveaway for a custom built Shopify store completely done for you from scratch and handed over once you get picked. Alright guys, now let's talk about Facebook ads. In terms of Facebook ads, there is really like unlimited ways that you can approach your ad account and your campaigns. I'm sure you've watched a lot of YouTube videos explaining about this strategy and that strategy, which one is the best. Is it to use CBOs, ABOs, all of these terms that we hear here and there. And in this video, I'm gonna try to make it as simple as possible for beginners to start testing their products with low budget without wasting a dime. Now, it's really great to have like different techniques and different ideas to implement in your campaigns. However, for beginners, this becomes very confusing and overwhelming when you see all of these strategies and you get confused which one to follow and which one will do the best work for my budget. Now, I completely understand this because I've been at this point, so I know exactly what you feel. And in this video, I will try to make it as simple as possible for you to follow along and create your first profitable campaign. All right, before we jump into the PC and show you exactly how I set up my campaigns and how to become profitable even in the testing phase, I want you to take a few seconds and just click the subscribe button right now. Alright guys, so here we are in our step-by-step guide on how to create and set up our Facebook ads. Exactly everything you need to set up your account and organize it so that you can read your data properly and take the right decisions. So I'm gonna leave a link to this document in the description as well as in the first comment so that you guys can download it and follow along when you're creating your first ad campaign. This is the basic Facebook ad setup. I'm not gonna go into much details on this. This is honestly like very straightforward, and if you still need help with this, please let me know in the comments so that we can make a separate video about this. So the first step is to create a business manager. You're gonna go to this link, business.facebook.com/overview, and then you're gonna go to a page like this. You're gonna create an account for your business, right? And then you're gonna go inside your business manager. Let me show you how does that look like. If you're inside your business manager, you go to business settings. All right, so you're gonna see like a bunch of stuff here. You go to add accounts, and you're just simply gonna add an account. It's that simple, right? And then you're gonna create a Facebook pixel inside of your ad account and connect it to your store. The way you do this is just downloading the Shopify Facebook app in your store. That in case if you are running a Shopify store, you're gonna have to download this app, and it's honestly very straightforward. Just a few clicks and you will connect your Facebook as well as your pixel to the store. Then you're gonna do the last step, which is to verify your domain and set up the aggregated events. This we can cover it in another video, but for the sake of this video, we wanna focus on creating our campaigns and optimizing them so that we can run profitable Facebook campaigns without wasting the budget. So if you guys need help with the first step, please let me know in the comments so we can have a separate video, a full tutorial on how to do the initial setup. All right. So now let's actually jump into the ad account itself. All right. So you're gonna go here, all tools, ads manager. Here where you see all your campaigns, all your ad sets, and all of the good stuff, okay? All right, so this is actually a live campaign that we are running. I'm just gonna use it as an example. Okay, so you go to ad sets, Before running any ads, I like to set up my columns so that I can basically read the data better and take better decisions. I have included this here, exactly what are the parameters you should be looking at, and without getting overwhelmed with all of the data that you have in your dashboard, these are the ones that you should focus on with this exact order. So we're gonna have the ad set and the delivery. Delivery means it's on or off, amount spent. Impressions means how many times your ad was viewed. Reach means how many people have seen your ad. CPC is cost per click. CPM is cost per 1,000 impressions, which means how much does it cost you to show your ad to 1,000 people. All right. And the CTR only for the link. CTR means the click-through rate. How much the percentage of people who see your ad actually click your link. That's a very good parameter to look at. That will tell us how good your ad is. The add to carts, how many add to carts you have. Cost per add to cart. Initiate checkout and cost per initiate checkout. Purchase, cost per purchase. And your ROAS. ROAS is basically the return on ad spend. You always want to have a positive ROAS above your break even. And then the purchase value. These are the main parameters that we look at when we are running Facebook ads. All right, so let's actually do that inside of our Facebook ads account. All right, so you're gonna click here. It's by default will be performance. You're gonna go to customize columns. It's gonna show you this. Now you can keep the ones that we are including and then delete the other things that doesn't really matter and just take a space in our dashboard. So let's delete all of this and then follow exactly what we mentioned in our document. We have delivery, ad set, amount spent. Let's do amount spent. I'm gonna keep that here. Then impressions. Add this as well. Then the reach. Right. Then we need the CPC, CPM, and CTR. Let's add those as well. CPC. You want to include CPC cost per link, not all. Cost per link click. All right. Then CPM, cost per 1,000 impressions, and CTR. But the one that says CTR link click through rate. That's what we are more concerned with. Then we need the add to carts, the total, as well as the cost. Okay, same thing for the initiate checkout and the purchase. Initiate checkout initiated, and the cost per checkout initiated. And the last one is purchase, which eventually what we are optimizing for, total and the cost, as well as the ROAS. And then once you've done that, make sure to untick these. It doesn't really matter, we just need to have one of them. Okay. And then you're gonna tick this, save as preset, and then call it whatever you want. For this example, let's call it ROA. And there you go. You have all of the data that you need to look at when you are running your campaign. So that way you can take educated decisions and without wasting any of your budget. All right. So that's for setting up your ad account, the dashboard. Now, let me give you a quick idea how to optimize and how to test your products without wasting your budget. So we're gonna have 3 days of testing. That's honestly the shortest time that you can test and get reasonable data to judge your product or service. So the first day we have a few KPIs, and all right, so here we look at the KPIs that we need to follow in each of these 3 days in order to avoid wasting any budget and get the best result for our money. All right, so in the first day, we only look at the cost per click. We want to keep it as low as possible, of course, but the maximum that we can leave it at as $1, nothing more than that. And the CPM, of course, we don't want our ads to be super expensive, so we want to see low CPMs. Something below 25 is fine. Ideally, I like to see below $10. And then in the second day, You want to be looking at add to carts. If you have more than one add to cart, that's a good sign, and we keep it running. However, if you have an add to cart, but it is above your break-even point, then it doesn't make sense to keep this ad set running. And you calculate your break-even point just simply by subtracting your selling price from the cost. The third day, we want to see purchases. If there's no purchases, there's no point to proceeding with this campaign or ad set. So basically, you're gonna look at these KPIs, and anything that is outside of these KPIs, you can just kill it. You kill the ad set. All right. I'm gonna show you exactly how to look at this and how to judge your campaign based on these KPIs. Okay. So this is actually a live campaign that we've been running for like few days. All right. So here you see the campaign level, and then when you go here, you see the ad set level, and then when you go here, you see the ads level. Right. Now, let's actually go ahead and like create a new campaign just for practice, so that you can see the exact step by step on how to do that. All right. So if you are running an online store, the best objective for you is always to run conversions campaigns. You're gonna click continue. Call it whatever you want to call it. I usually like to keep things organized if you have many campaigns running, so just name it by the product name. All right. And now there is an option to have campaign budget optimization, which people call it CBO. But for now, we don't use that. I like to use ABOs, which means ad set budget optimization. And the main difference between this and the ABO is that you are in full control of your ad set budgets. With the CBOs, you will let Facebook decide which ad set could perform better. All right. Now let's go to the first ad set. Now the ad set, think of your ad set as your audience. The ad set is exactly your target audience. So let's actually brainstorm something like, say for example, we're selling a dog product. I don't know, dog toy. A dog toy is our product name. Let's actually name it like this, dog toy. All right. So in my ad set level, I'm gonna go down here for the audience, and then start targeting people who might be interested in my product. And honestly, this should be as simple as possible. Don't waste so much time thinking which is the best targeting. Honestly, it doesn't matter. You just, whatever comes into your mind, the first thing is, of course, like dog toys. Check if you have an interest that you can target. Yes, we have. So we do that. All right. Here you can set your location. For me, I like to start with US and then expand my audience once I want to scale the product further. All right. Here you can select the target audience age and gender. I highly recommend you keep these things open. Give some room for Facebook to optimize. And you have an option here to have expansion around your target audience. This will basically let Facebook find other people who might be interested in your product. But I honestly, personally don't like to keep this. I like to keep my audience specific to this, so that I know exactly which audience is doing better for me. Here you can select your language. For example, you're running worldwide and you want people who speak English only to see your ads. You're gonna do that here. All right. Always keep automatic placement. Don't change it to manual yet. Once we get to a certain stage, we can optimize our ads even further and narrow it down to the people who convert the most. All right. So we've got that. We've got our audience, and now we name our ad set exactly our audience name. If you want to keep it a bit more organized, you can include the target country as well as the age, for example. That way you keep your campaigns organized. All right, so now we are done with our ad set. Only one more thing that we need to do is the daily budget. Now, there's so many approaches to this. Honestly, there's no one right thing to do, but I like to keep things simple. If my product is less than $50, it costs less than $50, then I'm gonna do a daily budget of $5 only. If it's above $50, I'm gonna make it at least $10. So that way, Facebook have enough data to tell us about this product and whether there is a market for it. All right. So now we can move into our ad. Here you're gonna select your Facebook page as well as the Instagram account that you are using. Okay. And now you can go down here for the ad creative. Let's actually change that. It's by default, it will tell you dynamic formats. We don't want that. We want to create our own ad. We want to have it as single image or video. Video is by far the best if you are running e-commerce products. And then you're gonna upload your video, upload it from your computer to the dashboard of your Facebook ad account, and then you're gonna select it here. And then here is where your ad copy comes in the primary text. So say we're selling this dog toy. We're gonna say something like your pet next favorite toy, and then like some bunch of benefits of your products or features, and then something like shop now, 30% off, and then you're gonna put in your link directly to your product page. All right. In the headline, you can say something like free shipping this week only, so that you have some urgency for your buyer to take action and actually purchase your product. Now, for the call to action, make sure to select shop now, so that way your ad will show with the shop now button. And here again, you're gonna put your link to the product page. Never link your home page. Link your ad directly to the product page. And that is pretty much it. Now you want to repeat this step again as many as your budget allows, but as a minimum or a rule of thumb, you can do this 5 times. So you're gonna click here the 3 dots and then duplicate your ad set. So you have one already. We're gonna duplicate it 4 times. I'm gonna wait for a second. Yeah. So now you go to the ones that says copy, and these are the ones that you are going to edit. You're gonna keep everything the same, except that you are going to change the target audience. So that way you are testing several target audience for your product. You're gonna remove this because it's by default checked. You're gonna remove the detailed targeting expansion, and then to find similar audience to this audience that you selected, just simply hit suggestions, and then there's literally hundreds of other interests that you can try. For example, let's do this dog walking, and then you're gonna do the same thing, dog walking, copy it and keep it here in your ad set name, and so on. You're gonna do the same exact thing to the other ad sets. Once you've done that, you can just simply click here the X, and it's gonna tell you publish draft items, and you're gonna hit yes. But for this, it's just a practice for an example for us to see how exactly it works. Actually, I forgot to mention you have to select your pixel, but it's by default you're gonna have one pixel, so it's gonna select it by default. In case you have several pixels, you can select it here, and then you submit and publish your campaign. So in this way, we actually have built our first campaign. Then now we let it run for 1 day, 2 days, and 3 days, and look at the data day by day. Let me actually delete this. This just was an example. And we are going to look at an actual live campaign, and I'll tell you exactly how to judge your ad sets. Right? So this is a beauty product we're selling. We have been running it for a few days. So now let's go to the ad sets. All right. So as we mentioned, we will keep our columns organized the way we showed it in the beginning. So now we see the amount spent, impressions, reach, and so on. All right. So for example, these ads have been running for less than 24 hours. You have seen the amount spent. It's less than $5. So we can still cannot judge it, but we can look at the click-through rate, at the cost per link click. So let's actually do that. Now the CPC for these is actually pretty good, 0.4, 0.6, 0.6. So it's actually matching our KPI. We're getting clicks for less than $1, which is a good sign. You see here an add to cart, another very good sign in the first day. So I'm gonna basically keeping these assets running for the next day, and we're gonna look at it again tomorrow. Now these assets have been running for quite a while. I've kept them running, and I have decided to switch it off because it wasn't matching my KPIs. Now let's look at these. It has spent like around $25, and the cost per link click was actually pretty decent. It was almost 0.1 or 0.2, which is honestly perfect. And we were getting a lot of add to carts, which is a good sign that our product has a market and people are actually interested in it, right? And in the third day, I have seen a lot of people trying to check out, which is another very good sign. So that's the reason why I have kept it on for that long. But at the end, we are optimizing for purchases. We haven't gotten any purchase, so we simply just cut it off and cut the loss and focus on the other assets that actually are making sales for us and giving us profits on daily basis. Now, let's look at the ones that are active right now and have been running for a while. These have spent almost $30. Let's look at the CPC. We have 0.2, 0.17, 0.18, which is absolutely perfect. Love to see such numbers. My CPMs are absolutely crushing it, below $10, which is amazing. CTR, sorry, is above 1%, which is completely fine. We're showing our ads to like millions of people, so having a 1% CTR is completely fine. I'm gonna leave it at this. And again, we have a lot of add to carts, which is another very good sign about our product. Now, we've gotten some few purchases with these assets. Now we can analyze the purchase and the cost per purchase and the ROAS now. This when stuff gets interesting and when a lot of people actually mess up. Now in this ad set, yes, I got a purchase. However, the cost per purchase was above my break-even point. Even the ROAS is fine, but this is not where I want my profit margins to be. This is almost like barely any profit, and I don't see this working out in the long run. So I'm gonna basically close this ad set. Right. So now I see the other two ad sets has more than one purchase, which is a very good sign. We have three purchases here at $9 per purchase, which is amazing. We're getting a very decent profit margin. My ROAS is above 2, which is incredible. So I'm gonna keep these two ad sets. We're getting a very good cost per purchase and a very good ROAS. So these are the kinds of ad sets I like to see in my ad account. Now, if you want to take your ad campaign to the next level, you can start building new audience and start slowly scaling these winning ad sets by simply clicking duplicate. Okay, let's just do one for the sake of this example. We're gonna do one here. Now remember, my original ad sets are running at $5. So now I want to slowly increase the budget for this. You never touch the old ad set, you duplicate it one more time, and then you increase the budget in the copy version of your ad set. Now we're gonna change this. I like to keep it organized with the new budget that I set it. So I was running originally at $5. I can go ahead and increase it to $7. So I put that in the ad set name, so that way I know what does this ad set refer to. And here again, I will change the budget to $7. I'm gonna keep exactly everything the same. I have my ad here set up, my ad copy, and everything. Let's keep this as shop now, as we mentioned. Keep it as shop now, right? Now, Another good thing to look at is your potential reach when you are choosing a new audience. Anything above 1 million honestly is good. Anything below that, I don't like it. So, however, some people will accept it. But for me, I like to have my audience as big as possible, especially with the new Facebook and iOS thing that has been going on. A lot of people are opting out of Facebook tracking. So, in order to avoid such issues, we keep our audience as broad as possible. Now we've done everything as it is, except that, yeah, we just keep everything as it is and then hit publish. So now we are slowly increasing our budget without actually affecting our original assets, which are bringing us sales every day. See, we managed to get our campaign to be profitable within the first 3 or 4 days, just simply by following these simple KPIs that we mention here. Try to be as strict as possible. Come in and check on your ad account on daily basis. Don't be obsessed and like check it every hour. Give it some time, give it 24 hours that it spends some budget. Then come and look at the CPC, the CPM, the add to carts, the cost per add to carts, and of course you have to keep in mind your break even point. And in the third day, you wanna be seeing purchases coming in your store. Sometimes actually the purchase do come into the second day or the first day if the product is really in high demand. However, it's coming in the third day, so it's completely fine, and we are actually making profit, so nothing to worry about. As I mentioned, I'm gonna keep a link in the description for this document. Feel free to download it. If you follow exactly the step by step that I mentioned here, I can almost guarantee that you will have the best results for your budget and get a profitable ROAS with your ad campaigns, provided that you have a good offer and a decent product to sell, which has a market and demand. So if you guys are interested in a part 2 where we actually go ahead and scale the winners, I just showed you one of the many techniques that we can use to scale our campaigns. You can do a simple duplication of the winning ad sets and slowly increasing the budget. That is what we call horizontally scaling your campaign. Of course, there is other ways that you can scale your profitable winning ad sets to much more profitable ROAS and get those consistent sales on daily basis. Staying profitable in Facebook ads is really the key difference in successful business and the ones that fail. So making sure that you are following a strict KPIs in your ad campaigns will always ensure that you get the best result for your budget. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick Facebook ads tutorial. I try to make it as simple as possible for the beginners to actually start running their own campaigns and stay profitable. So if you enjoyed this video and found some value from it, make sure to subscribe and let me know down in the comments if you have any questions. You want to see more videos about different techniques that you can implement in your Facebook ad account and take your campaign to the next level. And as always, see you in the next one.